news just in is that another body, believed to be that of a church member who drowned in the Jukskei River this past weekend, has been found. Congregants were part of a baptism ceremony when the incident happened. So let's get the very latest now from our reporter on this story, Manqoba Mnchunu. Manqoba, thank you so much for joining us. So we know that there have been 14 bodies recovered. Now a 15th body. Do you have any more details about where this body was found, perhaps who this person might have been?
Well, certainly emergency services confirming just a short while ago that they have now located a 15th body. What we do know at this particular stage, sir, is that this body was found in Industrial Park in Sandton, which is just a few kilometers from where this incident had occurred. You recall, sir, that previous indications were that there were 3 people that were missing, but it was since understood from Johannesburg Emergency Services that they're now looking for 1 more body. That means that the other person has since been identified. You recall that there were 13 yesterday that had been identified by their relatives. We understand now that it's only 1 of them that they're still searching for. And this is the 3-month-old infant from the family in Alexandra that was part of this baptism ceremony that was taking place at the particular stream on a Saturday. So at this particular point, Sally, what we know is that there has been a body found, which now brings the total of those that have been found so far to 15.
All right, so it's just the body of that 3-month-old baby that is now being sought, is that correct?
That's what we're hearing, Sally, according to Johannesburg Emergency Services.
Okay. Yesterday we spoke and you said there was confusion because there was initially a group of over 30 people at that baptism. Have the numbers been solidified now? It seems so, bearing in mind that you're saying there is just the 1 body now left to look for. There seems to have been a process of identifying people who actually did manage to survive.
Indeed, Sally, but there's still confusion, Sally, as to really how many people were there. But from what we're hearing from Johannesburg Emergency Services is that the families have come forward, and you recall, Sally, that there were 3 families that had initially come saying that they still haven't located their loved ones. We now understand that it's only the infant that's remaining. But as far as the number of people that were affected, that is still uncertain at this particular point, Sally, because the numbers keep changing. But I think, judging from what the EMS are saying now, it goes to reason, Sally, to say that they might only be looking for that 3-month-old infant. It's the only one or the only person that has still not been found at this particular stage. We know that the search and recovery operations are still going to continue if the rains do not persist. And the team saying that they're going to do their best. They're going to continue searching for this infant.
And is this infant, was it the baby that was being baptized, do you know, or is it not clear?
Well, what we know, sir, is that the baby had been going for a baptism. So the baby was being baptized on that particular day. She had gone with her grandmother as well as the mother of the child and her other 3-year-old son. So they were all part of that baptism ceremony that was taking place when that incident occurred. And earlier on, Sally, we also spoke to the mother, the devastated mother who lost 3 of her family members. So she lost her mother, who is 51 years of age, and also she lost her 3-year-old son as well as the 3-month-old infant. She's still quite devastated, Sally. She herself is a survivor in this incident. She was in the water when that flash flood had come and then washed those congregants away. She says that, Sally, she's still quite traumatized by the incident. She explained what happened, and take a listen, Sally, to what she says happened at the time when this incident occurred.
Angeke ngize ngisho ukuthi siyawalungisela so balungisela kanjani amalungiselo lomncwabo abantu bangekho so balungiselela kanjani abantu bangekho bahleli le emushari abafuna ukusipha bona since from Sunday, Monday buyani kusasa, Tuesday buyani kusasa, namhlanje losithathu and thina besitshela ukuthi ngomgqibelo kwamele sincwabe manje soyenza kanjani so sho kanjani ukuthi sincwaba nini so prepare kanjani singazi ukuthi kwenzakalani.
We've got another clip that's going to talk about the moment that flash flood came down the river. But very briefly, do you have any update on the whereabouts of the bishop?
Well, sir, at this moment, the whereabouts of the bishop are still unknown. In fact, even the families are sadly saying that they believe that the bishop is being hidden and that they're simply, not wanting to give answers to this family. I mean, the family that we spoke to, the Khenga family, saying that they still want answers from the bishop as to why he went ahead with that ceremony, despite some of the warnings that had been given. We understand that there were congregants that raised, warnings as far as the danger was concerned, saying that going into that stream when there was rain possibly was going to result in a disaster. We also spoke to another family, the family that just spoke in the bite that we've played, where they say, Sally, they're also, while they've accepted what has happened there, they still want answers really as to what happened. What's frustrating them, though, is the fact that up until now they're not being able to, get the bodies of their loved ones. So it does seem, Sally, that the priest at this particular point, his whereabouts are still unknown. Emergency services also saying that they have been, in touch. They've been trying to reach him, and up until now they have not been able to reach him. But what we did hear, Sally, earlier on was a voice note seemingly from the bishop, which he had sent to some of the congregants apologizing for this incident. He does say, Sally, in that voice note that it was not his fault that this happened. He had believed that this incident was not going to happen and that the conditions were safe, and that's the reason why they had then gone into the water. But Sally, just take a listen to this family explaining exactly what had happened there.
Masemanzini qale wanimvula, and then the next thing kwavela ilanga, but imvula imvula bengiqala benganidi that serious phina kancane. Then kwavela rainbow. Then abantu started to babuza ama question about ilanga lelo, abanye bathi imali, some of them bathi ilantu rainbow. Umfundisi wathi kudlula something yamanzi, umuntu ophethe amanzi uyandlula. Then after lapho kwathuleka kwaba quiet. After lapho emva kwesikhathi athi singene emanzi, sithema singene emanzini kula kwehle khona amanzi from waterfall. Angazi bemaningi amanzi akhona, ngingisho ukuthi beyabuya kuphi. After lapho sithatha sonke overpower.
It's absolutely chilling. Very quickly, am I correct in presuming that the search for the 3-month-old baby's body will continue tomorrow?
Indeed, Sally, emergency services saying that it's going to continue this unless there is heavy rains or a storm. That will affect, of course, those operations, as you saw on Monday, operations being halted because of the storm. And I guess, Sally, it's because of the danger as well that these search and recovery teams have to go through when they go into the river, fighting those currents when it rains. So they're certainly saying, Sally, that the search and recovery operations are going to continue.
Thank you so much for that update. eNCA's Manqoba Mnchunu confirming now 15 bodies have been recovered. One more body still being sought. So the death toll likely from that incident at the Jukskei River, 16.